Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mind Over Meta, where we explore ideas and intersections of leadership through entrepreneurship and impact. Today's episode is a bit more personal. I'm sharing something I've been building myself, not just as a project, but as a response to something I live through and watch my peers experience every single day, and it's called A Squad. A student-led tutoring platform designed to make academic help smarter, more accessible, and rooted from service. But A Squad isn't just about tutoring. It's about redesigning how we think about help, leadership, and value creation inside a school community. Let's start. I'm just reading off of my script that I created to make sure I don't forget any details about what A Squad is about. So, let's start with the reality. High school, especially a rigorous international school like the one I go to, the American School of Dubai, is extremely intense. Students are constantly faced with hard, challenging classes that sometimes they have no idea how to do. Students are also balancing advanced courses, extracurriculars, college applications, leadership roles, service activities, and personal expectations and experiences. When students struggle academically, the default solution is outside tutoring. And here's where the problem is. Parents spend thousands and thousands of dollars on outside tutoring so often, especially in Dubai. Sometimes students feel embarrassed asking for help. Maybe it's from peers or from their own teachers at school, but sometimes they feel embarrassed to ask for help. The help they receive often lacks context because the tutors are not allowed to be a teacher that's in the school and are often just other teachers around the world that don't actually understand the classes better than the teachers of the school, but the teachers obviously can't teach. And what I kept noticing was the students who explain concept best are the ones who already took the class and experienced it themselves. They understand the teacher's exams, their grading systems, the essay rubrics, the pacing, and the expectations that aren't on hard paper. So the issue wasn't intelligence, it was coordination. We had supply high-performing students, we had a high demand, which was students who need help, and what we didn't have was a proper infrastructure. The gap is where A Squad was born. So, A Squad is a student-driven academic support platform built as an app that's now on the App Store, available for iPhone, that matches students who have excelled in a course with peers who need help in that specific course. Of course, there would be specific prerequisites, as like the student teaching the course would need to have excelled in that course and have a teacher recommendation to actually teach the course. And a student logs into the app and they select a subject, course level, a specific topic that they're personally struggling with, and the system matches them with an approved peer tutor who has successfully completed the course with a B+ or above, been teacher verified, and completed a short tutoring or orientation, which only takes around 1 day. All scheduling, messages, and sessions happens inside the platform, so it's super safe and friendly for students. You also have to use your school email to log in, which verifies and makes sure it's completely safe for everyone. The app includes a structured matching system, built-in scheduling, session tracking, ratings, and feedback, just to make sure that all tutors are doing their job efficiently, and automatic service hour documentation. Many students need service hours for the National Honor Society, and tutoring other peers can be a great way to earn those hours while still helping so many people in need. For NHS members, tutoring hours counts directly to the hours they need to complete. For families who prefer an incentive structure, there's a capped micropayment option, significantly more affordable than outside tutoring. But here's the important distinction. A Squad doesn't commercialize help. A Squad recognizes value. It blends two currencies, service and finance. Students could also redeem cash instead of service hours from parents who are putting these students on the platform. Plus, you can teach grades 1 to 12. So say you want to teach a grade 1 student and a grade 1 student needs help, you could do that. You know what I mean? The only classes that you would have to take yourself are the AP ones, or like the advanced level classes. So what most people don't see is how many times we had to actually rebuild the app. Like, building an app is genuinely such a difficult thing to do. The first version of A Squad was just an idea. It was simple matching and it didn't account for accountability. The second version learned to transactional. It felt like it was drifting away from the survey and just becoming another tutoring app. The third version lacked safeguards. I had to redesign it multiple times and work with developers that lived in India, and it was a hard language barrier as they didn't speak English properly, but I had to overcome that and just work the best that I could to make them understand exactly what I wanted, and I wasn't going to settle for anything that wasn't exactly what I envisioned, which is why it took such a long time to build. And I redesigned it multiple times until the tutors were verified, service hours were logged, cancellations were handled, incentives were capped, and just ensure that it was the best quality it could be. So in total, the structure went through several meaningful interactions before it aligned with the design I originally envisioned: structure, ethical, student-centered, and scalable. The process taught me something critical about entrepreneurship. The idea is so exciting, the redesigning is discipline. You just have to keep doing it and you can't settle for what is easiest. You just have to keep going until it's exactly what you want, because that's the only thing you're gonna like and the only thing that's gonna work the best. And building something inside a school community requires not just innovation but also responsibility. Juggling developing the app on top of all my schoolwork and SAT work has been a lot, but I learned to push through and use time management skills to just get it done. So from a service lens, A Squad redefines what service can look like. Service isn't always external. Sometimes it's recognizing that your knowledge is actually an asset. When a student who succeeded, for example, in AP chemistry helps another student pass the class, that's direct, measurable impact. It reduces stress, it builds confidence, and strengthens relationships. Most students feel way more comfortable speaking to other peers than to adults. From a social entrepreneurship perspective, A Squad solves a real ecosystem problem. Parents need affordable support. Students need accessible help. Schools and structured service opportunities are needed. Especially in my school, we have a designated time called WIN at the start of the day when you can meet with teachers. This is a perfect time for students and from students and student teachers to meet, and they can go to the library, they can go to lunch, and the classes can also happen via the app, but another way it can go on is at school. So it aligned exactly with what I wanted, and in a world increasingly shaped by AI, this matters even more. AI can help explain math concepts and basic stuff like that, but AI, something it can't replicate is shared classroom experience, emotional encouragement, peer reliability, context-specific insights. Future visions of A Squad could actually integrate AI. And although AI is a scary thing, if it's used beneficially, it can be a great asset to us. Identifying weak skill areas, suggesting resources, and optimizing tutor matching can actually be things that could be benefited by AI. But the core will always be human. The future of work, the most valuable skills aren't just technical knowledge. They'll be communication, teaching, passion, empathy. Stuff that can't be replicated by a laptop. So what excites me the most about A Squad is it isn't just a project that's happening within my school. It's a blueprint. Every school has high-performing students who need support, and families that want their support. And the hybrid model, service hours plus a cap finance reward, makes it super adaptable for people all over. Some schools may choose service only, some may integrate small stipends, and some may embed it into honor societies. The hardest part wasn't technical. As I said, it was cultural. Convincing students that asking for help is actually a strength and not a weakness. Convincing parents that peer tutoring can be structured and high quality. Ensuring the platform didn't unintentionally create dependency. Building something meaningful inside an institution requires patience and trust building. Entrepreneurship isn't just disruption, it's alignment. A Squad starts with a simple observation. The solution might be sitting in the classroom. It became an app. It became a service model. But because it's so important, it became proof that students are capable of designing their own items, not just participating in them. Service learning and entrepreneurship don't have to be two separate things. When done right, they can be the same thing. A Squad is my attempt to build something that reflects that, here at ASC and potentially far beyond it. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next time on Mind Over Meta. Bye.